Hey guys, X2 here, and before we get into the topic at hand for this video, I just want to mention two quick things. Firstly, I just want to mention that this is a project of mine that I've been working on for a couple weeks, and I was really excited to put it into a video. And a little spoiler warning, I tried to give you guys a picture of recreating a trailer for the subject of today's video, and it's really hard for me to find royalty-free um, World War II combat footage and just footage in general of the conflicts that happened in from 1939 to 1945. And I just want to preference that it was hard for me to find footage, if any, that are free that I can actually use without getting my channel or said video taken down. So I do apologize for that. Most of it's just going to be gameplay from either Battlefield 5 or Postscriptum or Call of Duty World War II. So I just quickly want to apologize for that because I tried my best. I literally tried for 3 hours yesterday and today to get royalty-free combat footage from World War II to put it into a trailer from what I am explaining. So I do apologize for not having that. I know I could just go on YouTube and literally just use a download app and just download the video and then post it in mine, but I don't want to do that for the sake of it's not my content. I'd rather get it from an official source and not from someone else who's ripped it from an official source and then uploaded it to their channel. I just don't want to do that. It doesn't feel right, and I just want to apologize for that. So while I'm talking about it, you'll just have to imagine it, and I'll try and put maybe some other gameplay from different games that have portrayed this. If I can sneakily put some clips in there from like different movies like Band of Brothers or The Pacific or Saving Private Ryan, I might. Just depends on if I think I'm going to get away with it. But for the most part, I'm not going to do that. And yeah. The second is I want to wish you guys a very Merry Christmas because it is, for me, at the time of this, the intro on top of the intro that you'll about to hear in a couple seconds here. It's the 22nd of December, and I just want to wish you guys a very Merry Christmas. Hopefully you have a good Christmas, spending it with family, friends, and just having a lot of food, opening a lot of presents, just having a very merry time. So I do wish you guys, again, a Merry Christmas. This will be my last video, at least for me, for like live recording and stuff. There will be a couple videos going up after this one, but the next upload will probably be next year in 2020. So without further ado, guys, like, comment, subscribe, enjoy the video. I'm really passionate in this video, and I hope you guys really enjoy it, want to see more types of these videos. But again, wish you a very Merry Christmas, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios. With weeks and days closing in on the reveal of Battlefield 5, we got information from DICE and EA stating that this game is going to focus on battles that have never been told or shown. I'm obviously paraphrasing here. For me, someone who loves history and whose passion, I was excited but yet skeptical. Along with this, they stated that battles would stretch across according to hour, day, week, and month. I may have added the hour part, but for paraphrasing, they did say they want to have the battles stretch across the time period from 1939 to 1945, but what we got was from 1940 to, yeah. For example, let's take the invasion of Normandy. Everyone knows what happened on D-Day. The Allies had to take 5 beaches, technically 6 if you want to count Pointe du Hoc. And on June 7th, the Allies proceeded to push inland to clear and secure the beachhead to establish a foothold. Now, on Omaha Beach, the 1st and 29th Division did have a little bit longer time to secure their beaches in the surrounding area, but that's just a rough explanation. Let's give you another example that further pushes what DICE wanted to do. Let's start with the invasion of Poland, 1939, and the start of World War II and the beginning of Hitler's Third Reich. Let's put this into a multiplayer aspect from what it seemed DICE wanted to do. The date is the 1st of September, 1939. At 0400 hours, the Luftwaffe raided airfields all across Poland, while the German army pushed an advance across the front lines. By the 3rd of the month, the entirety of the Polish Air Force has been annihilated by the Luftwaffe. This first day, or many days, will consist of DICE bringing back air superiority, which was one of my favorite maps from the previous games. And with Battlefield 1's rendition, I feel like it was kind of lackluster, and I really wish they would have brought it back for Battlefield 5 for their version of World War II. This would also consist of pitting the German Air Force, the Luftwaffe, against the less equipped and I would assume trained Polish Air Force, and which had also less members and units coinciding inside their Air Force. I also have the Polish name on screen. I'm not going to try and pronounce it because I don't want to... Yeah, I just don't even want to try and pronounce it. It's here on screen if you want to try and mimic it yourself. Obviously, these planes would have to be period correct, such as the legendary Bf-109, which from my knowledge would have to be the C and D variants. Now, Germany loved Messerschmitt, which was a Air Force company, an airport... I can't speak. An airplane manufacturing plant for Germany back in the 40s. And they produced a lot of aircraft, and the Bf-109 was a majority of that aircraft. Again, I'm just rough explaining here. And the Bf-109 had a lot of variants. It went from the C and D variant all the way up to K, which you could see the Bf-109 from 1939 all the way to 45 was built. That's a lot of Bf-109s. Anyways, the Luftwaffe did plenty of bombing campaigns while the invasion was taking place. Such planes would be the loved Junkers Ju-87 Stuka. You guys know the Stuka if you have a hinkling of information about World War II and German aviation. It's the plane that has the Jericho sirens on it, so it screams when it goes down. If I can get a sound clip for you, I'll put it right here. And the transport cargo plane, and later on used in the war as a parachute transport plane for the Fallschirmjäger. And we already have that map in Battlefield, the existing Battlefield 5 game, which is Merida. And these were the Junkers Ju-52 3M, which was converted into a bomber for the invasion of Poland in 1939. This would be a big part for this game mode because players of the Polish team would have to take down these bombers and fend off enemy fighters. Well, the German team, understandably, would just have all-right destruction. The invasion of Poland started September 1st, 1939, and ran all the way through and ended on October 6th, 1939. These hours, days, and months would have been plenty of content for us, the consumers, to sink our gamer hands into and to enjoy the game before the consistent free content starts rolling in for Season 1. This Season 0, if you will, would consist of multiple maps, weapons, vehicles, equipment, factions, features, and more. It goes without saying that all of this would have to be 100% historically accurate. I want to pause right there and say that this game would have to be 100% historically accurate. And then we just state that this whole video is just talking about if DICE was given a second chance on making a World War II shooter, a AAA World War II shooter, and this is kind of like a perfect world, like what we would get and stuff. So I just want to preface that. This campaign could have started Battlefield 5 with a bang and would have held people's attention, generating the hype and excitement for the game, and instead, we got this for a reveal trailer.
Wait. Hello, old friend.
With the release of this trailer, it generated more hate and disgust than we've ever wanted for a Battlefield game. If we go back and look at Battlefield 1's reveal trailer, it, for the most part, had a lot of good reviews and reaction to the trailer. It was a better trailer, it looked better at all, and for a World War I game, it was a lot more fun than what Battlefield 5 looked for the first reveal trailer that we got. I'm going to try and give you my best of a picture of what the reveal trailer should have been. Cut me some slack on the editing. It's going to be garbage. And like I mentioned in the intro here, guys, I couldn't find any actual real war footage and stuff. Imagine the trailer starts off with Hitler speaking. While the speech was going on, it shows the German army advancing towards Poland. The invasion of Poland starts September 1st, 1939. Throughout the trailer, it shows battles from 1940. Once 1941 hits, President Franklin D. Roosevelt's speech addressing the attack on Pearl Harbor, which happened on December 7th, 1941 at 7:55 in the morning. All of this footage, mind you, is from real-life footage taken from that day in history, along with in-game or in-engine gameplay. That trailer goes on to show all battles from 1941 to 1944. I want to address that these are all battles from the Pacific Theater and the European Theater. DICE could also, along with this trailer, show different perspectives from maybe the German perspective, the American perspective, the Canadians, the British, Allies, and Axis perspectives of the war. The trailer fades to black, and we get General Dwight D. Eisenhower's speech to the troops before D-Day, showing again in-game, in-engine, and real-life footage from that day in history. The trailer then continues to 1945 on the spearhead of the Allied advance through France, Belgium, Netherlands, through to the Rhine and into Germany, putting an end to the Third Reich. The trailer ends with the surrender of Germany on May 7th, 1945, and later to follow Japan's surrender on August 14th, 1945. I probably didn't do a good enough job trying to visualize or show you guys how the trailer will work because, again, it is hard to find and use footage from various games, shows, documentaries, movies, and etc. to put into the video. Obviously, this would be a tremendous amount of work for DICE to do, but I think doing it this way with 100% historical accuracy would be better for Battlefield 5 than what we got. And I think we all know what the head at EA said about the game. If you don't like it, don't buy it. This probably would have been the biggest and most successful Battlefield title in the franchise, and don't forget the most supported Battlefield title in the franchise as well. If DICE could promise us that they would stray away from what they did with the existing Battlefield game, with unrealistic uniforms, questionable cosmetic changes, like we saw with the prosthetic claw fucking arm thing in the reveal trailer, and quickly, I want to mention that the flag was never changed for the German faction in the existing game. Alright, so I have to re-record this segment in the video because I know for a fact it's gonna, one, get me flagged on YouTube, and two, people are going to just get triggered in general. So basically, in the current Battlefield 5, again, this video is like a perfect world. We would get a more historically accurate version of the game. It is DICE's the flag they used in Battlefield 1, they reused in Battlefield 5. It's just the black, white, and red flag with a sticker of the German cross on the flag. What they should have done is they should have, and they literally already have it here, is they take the red flag, the one Germany actually used in World War II, they take that flag, the red flag, they put a white circle in it, and then they put the actual German cross inside the white circle, and then have the lines going through. I have it on screen right now for those of you who don't understand what I'm talking about, and then boom, that's the German flag. Again, I know all of this is being talked in multiplayer aspect, but I think DICE is the only AAA developer, hear me out, I think DICE is the only AAA developer that can do this correctly. I think if DICE sat down with a council of historians and experts on this era, I think they could possibly make the best AAA World War II shooter game that's 100% or at least 80% historically accurate that's supported for years to come. Now, I know if DICE decided to do this, and EA and the community gave DICE a second chance on making a World War II game, I know that would kind of put indie developers like people who made Postscriptum or Hell Let Loose would kind of go out of business, because if this was a perfect world, this game would be amazing, and it'd be unfortunate because those amazing indie devs like the Postscriptum devs and the Hell Let Loose devs would kind of cease to exist, because if they made another World War II game, everyone would kind of shit on them for copying DICE. But I feel like, tangent here, I feel like if we gave, let's say today or in the next month, the community and EA told DICE, look, let's take Battlefield 6 and let's push the release another 2 years so you have more development time on the next title. And in the meantime, take Battlefield 5, change it around, expand it a little bit more, make it better, make it more historically accurate, take out all the stuff that's not accurate to history. Again, I won't name those things because I don't want to trigger anyone. And expand the game, make it a lot better, make it historically accurate, put actual battles people know about so you generate more hype and stuff. You make a brand new trailer, and you put it in, and then you grab the indie devs from Postscriptum, Hell Let Loose, and any other World War II indie game shooter, and you ask for them for help. You look at them and go, hey, your game is clearly better than ours when it comes to a World War II accurate video game. We want your opinion. We want your help to work on this game. Will you help us? I know that most Battlefield players don't give a fuck about said game being accurate to history, and with multiplayer, if it's being historically accurate, then most people will more than likely not have fun playing the game, so there has to be a compromise here. There needs to be a compromise between catering to the historically accurate community who really wants this game to, again, be historically accurate. I'm sorry, I keep shoving this word down your guys' throat. And you're probably already keyboard warrioring down in the comments below telling me how whatever the fuck you're typing. It's the fucking internet. I don't care what, I don't even know what people type anymore. And then cater to the people who just want to have fun, who just want to play the game and have fun. So again, I think we can either do this two ways. The first, it can just be all together in general. Just there's a middle ground where there's still historically accuracy, and then there's still fun in the multiplayer. That way, the people who don't give a fuck about it can still have fun and play it, but the people who love and do give a fuck about it, have fun. It's like, wow, that's so cool that they put that in the game. I can't believe it. These uniforms look incredible. They look amazing. Like, take the uniforms from, again, Postscriptum. You look at them and you're like, holy shit, these look amazing. Like, you'll see my video of a Postscriptum game that I played that I said I loved the German uniforms regardless. Not all Germans were bad back then. I just want to clarify that. I don't care who the fuck you are. Not all Germans were bad. It's Nazis that were bad, basically. But that's besides the point. I said, with all the stuff they did back then, you gotta admit their uniforms are pretty badass. Their uniforms are pretty cool, and that's what I said in the video. And I just want to say that right here. But you look at them in Postscriptum and go, wow, that's really fucking cool. Their uniforms look really cool and crystal clear and detail and all that stuff. So there has to be a compromise there. And again, with the Postscriptum example, you can tell I love Postscriptum. With the Postscriptum thing, let's take Battlefield 5 and Postscriptum. Now, what do these games have in common? Tanks. Just one example. What both tanks do they have in both games? Battlefield 5 has a Tiger 1. Postscriptum has a Tiger 1. Battlefield 5 has a Sherman. Postscriptum has a Sherman. Now, in my opinion, in Battlefield 5, the Tiger 1 is probably the least most powerful tank in the game. I say that because for some reason, the Churchill Mark 7, the Valentine, any AA gun for that matter, a Greyhound, and a Sherman. Mind you, these are all low caliber guns, so like 37s, 57s, 75s, low velocity 75s. And I think the Churchill Mark 7 is a 76, so don't correct me on that. Correct me on that, actually. I'll correct myself right here. But these guns would not be able to pierce a Tiger. Like, one of these tanks would not be able to match up against a Tiger. And if we're talking historical accuracy, which we'll go into the Postscriptum part of the fact, and I know I'm rambling here, but just hear me out. This is an example of the compromise here. But the Tiger one was feared in World War II. Like it was a feared tank. This tank could sit 2 miles back with an 88 millimeter gun and one shot any Allied tank that came up against it. There was just no competition. So with the Tiger 1 in Battlefield 5, I think it's really lackluster, and you're probably seeing gameplay in the background that not only my aim's bad because I just got the game on PC. My cousin gave it to me as a birthday present. I know Battlefield 5, calm down. But we've been wanting to play it on PC, blah, 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 blah. There's a reason behind it, but I ain't going to tell you. The Tiger is just not a good tank in Battlefield 5. It will arguably get destroyed by a Greyhound, for that matter. You see how much damage it's doing to my tank whenever it hits me, and they not only do a lot of damage, but for some reason, as a low caliber tank, the Greyhound has a 37 millimeter. Realistically, it shouldn't even do damage to a Tiger, even if it's hitting it in the back where the engine is or the side. It shouldn't be doing damage at all to it, but there's that compromise because not only is the tank in the game and somewhat it looks historically accurate to a real-life Tiger, there's that compromise that it's slow, it's got a slow reload, and the velocity of the cannon is slow as well, and you can't one-tap tanks like you should realistically. And there's that compromise again for the fun aspect in Postscriptum. You can't one-tap a tank in Postscriptum if you're using a Tiger or a Tiger 2. There are armor penetration values in the game, so if I'm in my Tiger in Postscriptum and if I shoot the front of a Sherman, realistically the Sherman would just be dead and explode. But in that game, the shell would go right through the front plate of the armor, and if it hits a crew member, that crew member is dead. And that's how it kind of works. So I think it'd be a really cool aspect to add armor penetration values and armor to Battlefield 5 in this perfect world that we were explaining. I think it would be a really cool fucking aspect to the game and add a lot more fear to the enemy team. If you're on the German team and let's say you're playing Grand Operations and the German team spawns in a Tiger, your enemy team should shit themselves. They should literally go, oh fuck, there's a Tiger, we need to get air support and destroy the Tiger, because that's the only way you're going to destroy it is by dropping bombs on it. So there's that compromise there. I do apologize for going into that little explanation. So this is where the video picks up here, and I do plan on making more videos on this subject, explaining further into campaign. So if you want me to make what a campaign would be in this perfect world, if this game was perfect, a perfect World War II game, we'd explaining more on war stories and more on multiplayer. And with multiplayer, that's more vehicles, guns, maps, and all that stuff. If you'd like to see more videos on if DICE was given a second chance on Battlefield 5, please let me know down in the comments below. It'd be much appreciated if you guys would comment on what you think, on what you left, constructive criticism, and please, because this is a really big passion project for me to do. I kind of like talking about history, and I for the longest time, I've kind of been wanting to do a history channel, like X2 History or something. I know that's kind of like generic title, but I love history. Again, it's my passion, and I know there's a bunch of other history channels out there, and a channel my size, I shouldn't be making another channel, but I would just really love to make maybe like a channel that we just kind of talk about history and what kind of things would happen. I've been talking with Noel. You guys know him. He's always linked down in the description. Which go show him support because he's been going through some rough times right now. So it'd be really appreciated. It'd be a great Christmas present if you guys go down to his channel, link down in the description. His name's Bluke. Go down there, subscribe to his channel, watch his recent videos, like him, tell him I sent you, because he really needs the love and support, guys. It'd mean a lot to me because he's my best friend. But it took me quite a bit to write this script, doing the research, putting the research into the video, and then editing it. Again, I'm really excited for the future of Battlefield to see where DICE takes Battlefield 6. Again, there'll be a link down in the description of my recent Battlefield 6 video talking about leaks that have been going around recently. And I hope that we go back to the modern era, which I think is kind of already confirmed technically through the investor calls that we've heard from EA. Overall, do I think that DICE should be given a second chance on making a World War II game? I think it's pretty obvious that I do think that DICE should be given a second chance on making a World War II game that's historically accurate to the period. Again, I believe that DICE is the only AAA company that can do it correctly. Again, to make this happen, they'd have to consult in a lot of historians and a lot of experts on this era. Experts meaning in like weapons, armor, like any type of vehicle, like that means boats, aviation, naval, ground units, and all that stuff, to make this very historically accurate. And it'd be such a big project for DICE to do, but I think they can do it. I would have hopes that they could do it. Again, that's saying if this is a perfect world, like this video is kind of hinting at. So I think that's where I'm going to leave it off. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that jazz, so you know when I upload next. And I thank you guys so much for sticking around. I do wish you guys a very Merry Christmas, and I hope you spend time with your family. Yeah, I wish you guys a very Merry Christmas, and I hope you have fun with your families and friends, eat a lot of food, open a lot of presents. Again, let me know down in the comments constructively what you guys think of the video. If it annoyed you, just let me know. I don't fucking care. Give me anything you want down below, unless it's something that doesn't need to be down there, and then I'll delete it, obviously. But I'm going to stop. Without further ado, like, comment, subscribe, guys. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you next year. Adios, guys.